Hello, I'm Marcus Alton from the tribute website brianclough.com, and in the next episode of The Green Jumper, my guest is one of Clough's early signings at Nottingham Forest. Terry Curran was an entertainer on the pitch, and his stories are entertaining too.
I tell you, he used to call me two things, right? Young man.
Yes.
I always nearly got called that, young man.
Yeah.
Or golden balls.
You were the original Golden Balls before Beckham.
Well, I was in
Yes.
Brian Clough's side.
Exactly.
And when you look what Clough wrote about me, he wrote that I was the best young player that he'd signed. That included Colin Todd and Roy McFarlane.
Terry's contract negotiations sounded entertaining as well.
What did he say? Sign that contract there, young man. And I turned around and I said, not yet, I'm not. I said, I'm playing on Saturday. He said, I haven't bought you to sit on the bench, lad. He said, sign the contract. So I said, hang on a bit, what about my wages? He said, what are you looking for? I said, £90 a week. He said, I'll give you 120, how's that? Now sign the contract.
You'll also hear about Clough's surprise gift for Terry's regular journeys home to Doncaster.
He said to me, young man, give me your car keys. And I thought, what do you want those for? Anyway, I gave him, went training, came back, an hour and a half, 2 hours training, whatever it was. Got showered, went to the manager's office to get my keys, obviously going home. I said, have you got my keys, boss? He gave me the keys. And I never really looked at the I'm like that, I just put them in my pocket, went outside, couldn't see my car. I've got keys. I thought, where's the car? So I goes back here and says, my car's not there, boss. Where is it? And he was smiling. He said, comes outside with me. He said, it's there. I don't want you driving home. And if you do drive home, I don't want you driving in a little sports car, young man. And he bought me a Capri. We gone for some lunch and the tramp must have been outside and he took him a lunch. Obviously couldn't fetch him inside, or didn't fetch him inside, but he took him a lunch outside. That's the type of man. A lot of people didn't know, what are the good things the boss did. He was a socialist but wanted every socialist to be equal.
Yeah.
And have a Mercedes, have a nice car, that type of thing, you know what I mean? Such a really generous man, behind the scenes. People didn't see that.
There's also the funny story of why he's called Terry when his real name is Edward.
John Quigley, Scottish guy, kept calling me Terry because of my brother Terry's what he used to call me. Getting them mixed up, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and I used to say to him, John, my name's Teddy, not Terry. I made my debut at Gillingham, and the reporter was a guy called Joe Slater, and he put a headline up, thank heavens for little Terry. And I don't know what the thank heavens were for because we got beat 5-0 on my debut.
Oh dear.
But I did play quite well in the game. And I said to Joe, my name's not Terry, it's Teddy. And he said to me, well, Terry suits you better. You look, suits you better. I said, no, but my name's Teddy. So when I signed for the boss at Nottingham Forest, when I signed the contract, Edward Curran, he said, young man, why did they call you Terry when it's Edward? And I said, and so I told him, like I'm telling you. So he started calling me Edward.
Yes.
Because he used to call, he didn't call Martin by a nickname or Woody or, you know what I mean? It would be Anthony,
Yes.
Peter Wade, it would be Peter. It never went Pete, it was Peter, So for about 4 months, 5 months, something like that, he called me Edward. And then he started calling me Terry.
Terry was lightning fast down the right wing, but when he suffered a serious knee injury, Brian Clough famously said promotion had just limped out the door. But he made an impressive comeback, and in this special two-part interview, he talks about the disagreement which led to his departure, just as Clough was about to win major trophies.
He pulled me and he said to me, young man, you've done brilliant, but I'm going to leave you out. I want to ease you in gently. I want to look after you, right? And I lost it. I tell him, I said, shove your team up your backside. I slammed the door, but I slammed the door that hard. It fell down. It came off the hinges and fell down. It must have been loose. It has to have been loose.
Terry's first book was called Regrets of a Football Maverick, and his second is called Gimme the Ball. There are details about both of them in the show notes.
When they agreed the fee, the Derby County, and this again, Marcus, I'm not bothered what anybody else thinks. He got a tear in his eye. He said to me, I was in his office, and the little tears were coming down. He said, "You'll regret the day you'll leave me because I will win a European Cup." But he told a lie, because he won 2.
It's an interview you won't want to miss. Look out for part 1 of Terry's memories of the great man in the green jumper.